listeners, good morning. Thank you for tuning in again to the Good Day with Olivia show on the KAZ Radio and Television Network. I'm your host, Olivia Winstead, here to serve up the good news happening right here in the city of Cleveland, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. On this show, you'll hear me talking a lot about my mission in life and frequently asking my guests about their mission. Identifying one's unique life mission reveals purpose. We were not placed on this earth by chance, but on purpose. We were not created simply to exist and expire, but to experience, evolve, and to contribute to the excellence of humanity. Excellence is defined in Merriam-Webster's dictionary as the state of being excellent. Excellent is further defined as eminently good. Our purpose in life is to contribute to the eminent good of humanity. Once we have identified and taken action on our mission to contribute to excellence, we have identified, acted on, and achieved success, greatness, excellence. So, when are we to take action on success? When do we begin to define our mission? Perhaps that is dependent on you, your experiences, and your personal awakening. In the studio today, I have author, app developer, and Harvard University student to share his message about the importance of seeking out greatness in your youth. Yeah. Cleveland, I'd like to welcome to the studio this morning, Norman K. Willis. Norman, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I'm so happy you were able to make it out, considering today is Saturday morning. It's St. Patrick's Day. The city is already buzzing and already getting busy. I've been out here since 7 a.m., and I know a lot of people have been out way earlier than I have, so I appreciate your time.
It's no issue. No issue.
Do you have any plans for when you leave the studio for St. Patrick's Day?
Whatever comes my way. I do have to get on the road tomorrow, but whatever comes my way today, I'm willing to do whatever.
If you don't mind me asking, where are you headed tomorrow?
I have to go to Bowling Green tomorrow. So
what are you doing there?
I have a few people I have to talk to and meet up with, and I'm trying to schedule another speech in Toledo. Okay. So yeah,
busy guy.
Yeah,
very busy guy. So, Norman, you're from Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to talk about where you're from in Cleveland specifically?
I'm from Warrensville Heights, Ohio. I went there from kindergarten to when I graduated. Yeah. So.
So all through elementary school, all through high school.
All the way through. Yeah.
And you went to Warrensville Heights for high school?
Yeah.
Okay, graduated
Heights.
From Warrensville Heights. Where did you go to college?
I was taking college classes in high school, so I went to Tri-C first. Then I transferred to Bowling Green. I did education there. Then I taught for 3 years, especially over the summer.
You taught?
Yeah, I was teaching at a place called Incredible Kids and another place called Family Life Care in Maple Heights. And I started tutoring when I was at Bowling Green as well.
I'm sorry, keep going.
No, and from there on, after I did the whole education thing, I went to Notre Dame because I didn't feel really fulfilled. I wanted to run track. I went to Notre Dame, and then after I was done with all that, and I taught for 4 years, then I just said, you know what, I want to try to go to the top school, and then I took a test for Harvard, and then I found out I passed last semester. So yeah, so right now I'm in the process of just going back and forth. I'm doing a lot of online classes right now because I'm always moving back and forth. But it seems like a good place right now where I'm at right now. Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, when you were teaching, did you already have your degree at that point?
At the time, actually, my first year of teaching, they gave me a shot. I did not have my degree.
It was like student teaching?
Yeah, it was basically like that over the summer. But I was able to actually gain a lot of experience, the experience that I needed to actually teach in a school. So if I wanted to go to Bedford or a place right now, I would be able to do that. But when I first started I had really no experience. I just knew that I wanted to help some kids, and that was pretty much it, you know.
How did the opportunity present for you to go to Harvard? What got the idea in your head? What
Honestly,
started this?
I don't want to get too religious, but I think it was just God and being frustrated. I was at a point. The reason I went to Warrensville Heights all the way through is because I passed up on the opportunity to go to Chanel. And Chanel was probably the best place for me to go, but I didn't go there. I'm actually wearing a Chanel wristband right now. And I realized that environment is everything. When I didn't go to Chanel, I was surrounded by people that I shouldn't have been surrounded by. My first week after I moved in Warrensville, I was approached by a gang. You know, like some people wanted me to join their gang, and I took my 111-pound self over to the football field and stayed over there.
Wow.
So it just got really bad in Warrensville, and I noticed a change in myself. It wasn't about school anymore. It was about survival. But to the whole Harvard thing, it was just like I had to get out of where I was living. I was living on Country Lane at the time, and it wasn't the best place. Someone actually got shot over there while I was in high school, and when I went to Bowling Green, it was great because it got me out of my environment. But academically, I just wanted to be pushed more. And, you know, you always hear about Harvard or Morehouse and all these places. And I just got so frustrated after I went to Notre Dame. I ended up getting sick at Notre Dame, and I wasn't able to compete. And I just said, you know what? If I'm going to go to a school, it's nothing against Bowling Green or Notre Dame. I just wanted to get out of Ohio at the time. I said, if I'm going to go to a school, let me aim for the top school. They say this is the top school. And I took the test, and I found out that I passed. And I haven't looked back from there.
What keeps you connected to the city of Cleveland?
All the people that I've met. You know, I love the people here. It's a lot of people that have helped me out. You know, when I first moved on Country Lane, it was the people that took me in and showed me football. They kept me away from, not saying that I would be a gang member now, but they kept me away from that. They took me in as their little brother. You know, I grew up as the only child. Like I have a brother, but he was incarcerated at the time. So they took me in, and they just was like, you don't have to do that. Come over here and play football with us. And, you know, and they showed me a different way of life, you know. So that connection just made me want to pay it forward, you know. So I went back to Warrensville, and I taught them, and I gave a speech in my graphic arts class, and I said, just because you're 13, 14 right now doesn't mean you can't make money. Just because you're this age doesn't mean that you have to join a gang or something like that. You could be great now. Go for it, you know. And that's how I stay connected. Whenever I'm here, I just want to talk to people.
You mentioned something about not wanting to get too religious.
Yeah.
We welcome that on this
Oh, that's
station.
great. That's great.
So, you know, feel free
Yeah.
to speak, to deliver how you wish.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the Harvard experience.
Yes. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
No, I'm just interested. Well, I'm in anyone's experience, really, but from the black male perspective, what is your experience like? Very curious.
The times that I've been there, it's what it's a lot more of us than expected. But the thing that I love is that it's more of a serious environment, and you could tell I'm more of a serious guy, and I love being in that environment where, like, as soon as you walk in, everybody's on their game, you know, and I love that, and I need that to push me. Like, I don't want to be in an environment where everybody is like they're not on their game, you know. And when I'm there, or when I'm in different environments, and when I'm here, it's just like I need to be around people that are about their business. Like today,
this is absolutely true about him. I was trying to give him a warm up to get him loosened up to present on camera, and he would not budge. Serious guy,
yeah.
wouldn't come out of character. Maybe this is, you are who you are.
Yeah, if I had to compare my attitude to anyone, it would have to be like a Kobe Bryant or something like that. Someone who's just serious, like just about their game or something like that. You know.
You're a mentor.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been mentoring?
Ever since I got into college, I started actually before I transferred. I went to this place called crap. How did I forget it? Golden Ciphers on Broadway. They let me come in and speak, and ever since then, I'm like, I have to help kids. You know.
I told you, I think that is really incredible because how old are you, Norman?
I just turned 25. I'm an old.
I think that is so incredible because, compared to other people, your life, I guess I can't measure it, but you have 25 years of life experience. And for you to be able to mentor someone, I just think that's incredible. It just says a lot about how maybe you've identified things in your life where you're able to share knowledge with people. I think that is very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Let's get right into app development.
Okay.
So what are apps for the audience members who don't know? What are apps and what is app development?
Mobile apps are the things that you use on your phone. Let's say the flashlight that you use, Facebook, Snapchat. Those are all mobile apps. App development is just the person who goes in and codes. And coding is basically you're just telling the computer what you want. So it's basically just a way of innovating things to help humanity. My first app was just something to help tutor people because I had a lot of people to tutor. So I said, why not make an app and I could tutor everyone?
What was that app?
That was Back My Brain. That was the
Back My Brain.
Yeah, that was just like a converter app.
Okay.
But it basically.
What is a converter app?
It converts anything, like any inches to feet, all that stuff, like
a converter calculator. Or something like that?
Exactly, just like that. And that's what I created, just to help people while I'm helping this person. That way, I can be everywhere, at the same time.
Very interesting. So when you're developing these apps, does it require a team?
It's best to have a team because just like here, you all are a team. When I first started out, I didn't have a team at all, and I found myself doing everything. But when you're working by yourself, you realize your weaknesses. I suck at marketing. Like I may post like once a year, but I need somebody else who likes social media to do that.
He's sending out a message, you guys. So if you have the skill, he wants to collaborate with you.
Yeah, so like I have all these things that I'm working on, but I had to realize like I suck at getting the message out because I'm like, I know these things, but a million other people don't know.
You know the technicals.
Yeah. So I may need someone to actually go out there and say, this person made this app. Here it is. I'm the person behind the scenes, really.
And if you don't mind me sharing, you also have someone else working your social media pages for you?
Oh,
right?
My assistant, Sarah. That happened because, like I said, I suck. I figured out my weakness. I suck at communicating and I suck at social media. So I'm like, you take it and let me just work behind the scenes. If I write a book, you post about it because I suck.
Smart man.
Yeah.
You know how to get your resources.
Get
your message out. Good for you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about some other apps you've developed. Can you go down the list and?
I may forget some, but
you made that many?
I think I was at 8 the last time I counted. I think. So we have Norman's Push. That's when I started to become like a motivational speaker. Just like every day I would post an inspirational message just to help someone. It was a free app. Grandmother's Envelope. That's the one that I'm most proud of. So when I was younger, I would get paid for each A. Or just paid, like my grandmother would give me a card with like $20 in it because I would get honor roll a lot. So she would give me money just for getting good grades. So I said, there may be a kid out there that may hate school because there's no motivation. I knew if I got good grades, I'm going to get some money. So let me help other kids by creating an app. And each semester, the student with the highest GPA, each student puts in $5 or whatever they can afford. And the student with the highest GPA gets that money towards college or whatever. And if they're in college, they get that money towards a car or whatever they need. Wow. And just to solve problems. That's it. I'm in the process of selling that. So if anyone wants to buy it, come to me, make me an even wealthier man, please.
How long does it take you worked on 8, you created 8. How long does it take to complete an app?
I can get an app done in a day.
Wow.
And that's because I just love sitting behind a computer.
But it requires a team.
Yes, because I can create it, but sending it off to someone else, that's probably not my best my best thing. So yeah.
How do you begin to even develop an app? Where are you pulling your resources?
When I first started, let me start off with the backstory. I did not know anything about app development. I met someone in college, and I still talk to him to this day. And he told me about his story. He ended up selling his app for a good amount of money. And I'm like, that's so cool. Let me get into that. And so the whole app process is you can go on, just like people can make a website in a short amount of time, you can make an app today. But it's going to be a template of what someone else made. The best way to do it is to actually code it yourself. And you're going to need a Mac computer to do that. And basically, you're just telling the computer what to do. So, yeah.
How do you create apps? Is this a pastime hobby or is this your business? It sounds like your business.
It's a business. It was hard presenting that to my mother because she wanted me to be a teacher. And I'm like, first off, I wanted to be an architect. That was the first thing I wanted to do. Yeah, but 8 years in school, I was just like, it's not that I couldn't do 8 years in school. It was just, how am I going to pay for this? That was the point. That was where I was at when I was at Bowling Green. You know, how am I going to pay for this?
When you clearly see your mission or whatever your vision is in life, you know exactly how that probably just wasn't where you needed to be.
Yeah, and I felt it in my gut, and I was frustrated every day. And from the outside looking in, you know, I basically had my school paid for. I was an RA. I had a decent GPA. I was on the National Honors Society list.
When you identified your mission or whatever it is you want to do, you know how to you'll work through it, pull the resources. You don't care how long it takes. So that just probably wasn't for you.
Yeah, or maybe it wasn't time. Who knows?
It might not been time. There you go. I don't want to say it wasn't for you.
Yeah, because you know, I still think about architecture today, but basically the app making business is a business for me, and it kind of took the place of me drawing, because I used to draw all the time, and now I just like creating stuff for other people. If I was an architect, I would be laying down plans for someone else. So this is the same thing. It's just a shorter time frame.
You are a wise guy.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, let's talk about your literary work.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
What books have you written, and what's your most recent work?
Okay, so the books, that's going to take forever. It's a lot of books.
Well, let's talk about the most recent book.
The most recent book would have to be, the one I'm working on now is called Money, Mindset, and Maturity. I gave a speech about that, and I was like, those are the three things that really separate people. How much money you have, your mindset, and maturity. Those are the three things that really separate people. And were you about to say something?
I was going to ask, because what you put out on social media is your book, Why I Never Listened.
Yeah, I was going.
Interested.
Okay, so I was going to get on that.
Go ahead.
That was the one before that one. So Why I Never Listened came because you can listen to people your whole life, but no one knows what you really want to do besides you. Like, my mom may want me to be a teacher. Someone else may want me to be an architect. But what do I want at the end of the day? And I got to that point where I was just like, I'm not listening to what anybody else is saying. I'm going to do what's best for me. And I dealt with that when I was home. Like, I was making an app for a business here. And right before I did it, my grandmother was like, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to trust these people? Because, you know, she worries about certain things. But I could have fed into that and been like, nah, you know, I don't. Because she said this, I'm not going to take this money, or I'm not going to make this deal. I ended up not listening to her, and I ended up being able to pay for stuff for her. You know, I called her and was like, whatever you need, I got you. Because I didn't listen, you know, and I followed my gut. You
followed your gut. And, you know, a lot of people will warn us, or because it's an unsafe place for them to explore themselves, or they haven't seen anyone else do it. Yeah. So sometimes you do have to step back and take risks, because especially at this point in time in our lives,
Yeah.
we're young. The worst thing that could happen is someone could say no, but there's a yes out there.
Yeah.
1,000 no's don't even amount to one yes.
And you can fail. Like,
You
when I went to,
you absolutely
like, I didn't
can.
tell anybody because I know my family would have freaked out. But when I was way younger, I just got in my car and drove to New York because I got a opportunity for modeling. And I know if I would have told them, they would have been like, oh, don't drive down there. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. When I called them and told them I was in New York, they were like, don't look up. You're going to get robbed, all this stuff. I didn't listen to any of that. I went to all my modeling things, and they loved me. So I don't listen. Like,
Sometimes you do. Now, good advice, good caution. I do listen or at least consider, but
oh, yeah.
I definitely hear you on that. You can't hear. Well, no, the fear.
Yeah.
Fear. You can't listen to the fear.
Yeah, not. Oh, sorry. No.
Go ahead.
What I say is now there are people that I listen to, and I do listen to people. It's just that, like I said in my post, like I can't tell you how to be a billionaire because I'm not a billionaire, but I can tell you how to sell an app because I did it. I can tell you how to write a book because I did it. You know, I'm not gonna come out here and say, yeah, you'll be a millionaire today if you jump off this cliff because I never did that. You know, so. Those are the people that I don't listen to. The get rich quick scheme people, the people that are telling you, you know, you work this job forever, you're going to be a millionaire, and they're not a millionaire. Those are the people that I don't listen to. But the people that are actually doing things that I can see for myself, those are the people that I listen to.
Value from.
Yeah. So I just don't want people to think I'm like this arrogant person who just doesn't listen to people. No, that's not it. It's just I come from a place where people are very negative. So I just learn who to listen to and not to listen to. So yeah.
So you gave us insight on what inspired the title. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Who is the main character in this book?
It was me, but it was just mainly just about stories in my life, like the New York story, just deciding to write a book in my teens. Like, if I would have told people before that, a lot of people told me when I first wrote my book at 18, I was working at Walmart.
You were 18.
Yeah. I was a cart pusher at Walmart, and I was telling people, yeah, I'm about to write a book. They were like, what do you know at 18? And I'm like, you might be surprised, you know. And I could have listened to them and said I'm too young, but I didn't care. I was just like, this is who I am. And you'll realize I'm probably one of the wisest young people that you'll meet if you actually give me this opportunity. But I didn't listen, and I just did what I wanted to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I hope other young people are inspired listening to this message so they can. It sounds like you believe in yourself.
Yes, a ton. And for so long it gets confused with being cocky or nothing or something like that, when really it's just confidence.
I always say if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't speak highly on your ability to succeed, who will? If you can't do it, who can you expect to?
Yeah, because a lot of people they go off of their own experiences. Like with sports and football and all these things, a lot of people are like, why are you trying to play football when you could do all this stuff academically? But they're going off of their experiences. They're going off of all of their fears and life experiences. I'm going off of what I know. So that just boils down to the book.
Where can we find your book?
Amazon, and it's like a whole bunch of just about every online bookstore, Barnes and Noble. And I'm trying to get them in physical copies in the library. I just did something at Cleveland Heights Library. It'd probably take like 6 weeks to get that in there, but I'm just trying to get it everywhere. That's it.
Do you have a tentative date when you'll be releasing your newest work, or you want to kind of keep us curious about that?
I'll just say as soon as possible. With these things, I finish them really fast, and then someone else figures when they're going to come out. So that's it.
Let's get right into your mission, your message. Let's start with talking about what was life like growing up at home? What was your environment like? Who were your supporters? Who raised you?
My mom was my biggest supporter. She might not have necessarily understood me, but she was my biggest supporter. If I said, Mom, I want to go play football, she'll have the cleats the next day. If I said, hey, I want to go do this, she'll help me out. She was the person who drove me to Bowling Green when I didn't have a car. So she was the biggest supporter. Life growing up for me, a lot of people thought that I was wealthy coming up. I don't know why, but honestly, I don't know. Like, my mother actually lost her job when I was in high school. That's when I started writing books and all that stuff, because in selling things and learning how to be an entrepreneur, because it's not like we didn't have stuff. It's just that when she lost her job, that's when I became super serious. That's probably why I am the way I am today, because it was like, I have to take this into overdrive now, you know.
When all this was going on, where was Dad?
My dad was in and out of my life. I don't want to discredit him or anything like that, but my dad was incarcerated for 11 years. Growing up, my dad stabbed my mother, and he went to jail for 11 years. So my mom survived, thank God, and she raised me with my grandparents. So I think having my grandparents in the house gave me like this old soul, because I was listening to like stuff years and years down the line, and so like yeah, so that's probably why I feel so old now, because my friends were 60-year-olds. You know, so like yeah, so
your
that
friends were 60-year-olds.
Yeah,
to consider your grandparents your friends, that is beautiful. A lot of people don't get that experience. I'm glad I was able to have older people in my home. I value wisdom.
Yeah, and I mean, school and all that stuff was pretty cool. The one book I have was How to Remain a Good Guy. That was something I was gonna talk about.
That.
Yeah. So, man. So growing up at Warrensville, it was interesting. Like, I just made a post. Like, a lot of people wanted to be from Harvard instead of go to Harvard. Like, a lot of people. A lot of the girls that I met growing up, and I know we all have our own phases and stuff, and a lot of the guys I know growing up, it was a lot of people who wanted people for the wrong reasons. And what I learned is, like, it's best just to keep your values, because as soon as you lose your values, then you lose yourself. And that's what I was saying, just how to remain a good guy, because I've had some bad relationships and I've had some good relationships. I actually just got out of a relationship, and I could go off and just say, screw it, I'm about to just go sleep with the world or whatever, or I could say, I'm gonna just stay Norman, you know, and whoever comes around comes around. That's it.
How does your life experience, Harvard, your books, your mobile app, how does that all tie into your success? And then let's start with that. How does all that tie into your success?
I'm never satisfied. So, like, it all ties into, like, I know where I want to be in life, and until I get there, I'm never really, like, when I just finished the project for an app, I went home and I went straight to sleep, and my mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" When she saw me, she was like, "You seem sad." I'm like, "'Cause I want to do so much more," and it all ties into, like, where I think I would have been if I would have took a different route. And it all ties together by just these expectations that I have for myself and where I want to go. Yeah.
Can you tell, what is your message to young people out there? How can they identify success for themselves? How can they identify their mission? What is your message to the young people out there watching?
My message for the young guys out there and women is always go with your gut and don't be afraid to stand up. Like, this wristband right here is called, it says exterminate the word. Like, I stood up in front of all of Bowling Green and said, basically, I've never used the N word and we shouldn't use the N word. And that is some crazy stuff to say, because it went exactly against the grain in the black community. And don't limit yourself based on your age. If you're 10 years old right now, take over the world. Don't wait.
Why is it so important to take action when you're young?
Because if you don't, you'll regret it forever. And that's pretty much it. I don't care what age you are right now. Do it today. Don't wait, because I was just 18. now like years have been going by fast. So that's my message to any young kid out there. Just follow your gut. Don't listen to doubters, and just be as great as you want to be. That's it.
Awesome message, Norman. Can you tell the folks where they can find you? Can they follow you on social media?
Yeah. Once again, I said I suck, but just look up Norman Willis and you'll find me. You'll see my face. And Amazon.com, just look up Norman Willis or Norman K. Willis, and you'll find all my books. That's the way you can find me.
Did you share an IG?
Oh,
page?
Instagram is just Norman Willis 24. That should be it. Yeah.
Norman Willis 24. I'll make sure I follow you too
Okay,
after
okay,
this show. I don't think I have you.
It's
At least
fine.
not from my professional page. Thank you all for tuning in again to Good Day with Olivia. You can find me on Facebook at kaz.gdwo. You can follow me on my Instagram page, com_n_law. That's COMM_N as in Nancy _law. LAW.